This is Kim Wrinkle with I Run Far, and I'm with Matthew Laye, the winner of the USATF 100-mile championships yesterday in the Rocky Raccoon 100. How you feeling today, Matthew?
Not too bad, but pretty sore for sure.
How was the course compared to others you've run?
This was one of the flatter races I've done. I've done a few in Europe that are much more European style with probably a lot less success, and so it reminds me a bit of running in Missouri where I did grad school, and so I think it really played to my strengths in terms of the lack of elevation and yeah.
And how were all the tree roots on the course?
Those were definitely challenging. I think I took two diggers, and the bottom of my feet are quite sore, I think, from stepping on all those bad boys.
Did you have any face plants totally?
No, just went down a couple times on my side. Not so bad.
Yeah.
But
How was your shoes for the course?
they were great. I switched out between two pairs. I had the Scott Kinneballs for the first 60, which are perfect underfoot support and a lot of nice rock plate, which was great for the roots. And then the Fluid Flex, Montrail Fluid Flex for the last 40, which gave that like last little cushioning for the last bit, which I thought was perfect. So.
Well, sort of run us through the race. There were so many lead changes and top 10 changes and sort of a war of attrition out there. Was the humidity a large factor?
I actually didn't feel it that much. I was getting a bit warm, and I just sort of adjusted my drinking pattern to sort of have a little less calories in my drinks, but just took in a bit more than I had originally planned. Um, and as we went through the loops, I mean, my main goal was to try to run about 240 to start for the first couple of loops, and we came through a little quick, which was a little worrying, but I felt good, and so I just sort of went with it and sort of felt like I was gonna fall off loops 3, 4, and 5. And actually, I think with the difference between my fastest and slowest loop was only 6 minutes. So I was really happy with the ability to maintain that. Really surprised.
Yeah, where'd you take the lead for good? Because Ian had led for much of the race off and on, and then suddenly it was Matt.
Yeah, we were coming out of, we got into aid station at 66 at Damnation, about to go out for the 6 mile loop there. And he grabbed a bunch of food, and I didn't really need a whole lot. I just grabbed a little bit of soda, and he was walking out of the aid station. I jogged up to him and had a chat with him briefly just to see how he was feeling, and he asked me how I was feeling, and it looked like he was going to continue walking for a little bit, so I just started to jog off, and I was running scared for the next 33 miles.
Now, both of you look strong. You had a look of confidence on your face, and Ian was more of a fatigued look on his face, so it seemed to me that you were more in control. The last lap?
Yeah, I mean, kind of ironically, Ian told me that I had to run my own race for the first 80 miles and to not even think about racing until you get towards the end. And that was really what I was focused on. So even though I did pass him and I knew he was back there and that scared me, I was running my race the whole time. And if he caught me, he caught me. And then, when we got to the point where I felt like I could really let go and start racing, that would be when that happened. But until then, I just had to focus on taking care of myself and sort of maintaining an even pace. And I think I had that look of focus. I wasn't smiling out there. I was definitely looking under my hat and at the ground in front of me and just focused on, one step at a time.
100-mile debut and 100-mile win, USATF championship. And how did you approach your debut 100-mile? What did you do nutritionally? What did you do training-wise that led up to this race?
So in the fall, I was actually running a lot for my club, West Valley Track Club, and we were in the cross-country season, so 5, 10Ks and half marathons. And then after Club Nationals in December, I sort of bumped up and had a couple of big weekends. I had a 6-hour timed run New Year's Eve where I managed 48 miles pretty comfortably. Some really hard downhill sessions with Ian. And the nutrition, my background is in science, and physiology, and so I just took the knowledge that I had from that and just sort of planned every loop to have a bag with for every loop to have the calories I needed, so I didn't have to rely on the aid stations and I could get in and out fairly quickly.
Was it mostly liquid and gels, or did you do some solid bites or anything like that?
I did solid the first 2 loops. I had bars that I took some bites on, and then after that I moved to strictly liquid and gels.
Okay. Well, talk about your support system. I know San Francisco Running Company has dominated Texas races lately. Jorge winning Bandera and you winning yesterday, and you certainly have a great group to train with, not to mention Dylan Bowman winning Sean O'Brien yesterday. Just talk about your group.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you definitely feel like you have something to live up to. I mean, Jorge, his 100-mile debut, he was also USATF champion in Tahoe. And so now we have the guy I trained with on West Valley is the 50K trail champ, and then Jorge's the 100K trail champ, and now with the 100-mile trail champ, and then Dylan winning the 50-miler. I mean, I think that Marin has just an incredible support system, and I think a lot of it coalesces around what Brett has done with San Francisco Running Company, and that is definitely a draw, and the community there beyond the elites is just incredible. It's just such a fun place to be. It's like nowhere else I've trained, and no other support system like that, and it's just awesome to be a part of it.
Fantastic. Brett Rivers needs to be a profiter, go to Vegas, because he predicted that you would have an incredible race yesterday, and he was definitely spot on.
Yeah.
How did you like the organization of the race? You think they did a really good job with aid stations, volunteers, course design, etc.?
The course was super well marked. It was easy to follow. I felt like even though there's like 400-600 people out there, and some of it is single track going both ways, that it was never really too crowded. Aid stations, everyone was super helpful. Really, really fantastic event.
And Western States, what's between now and then, or is that basically going to be the main focus?
Between now and then, I'm running Boston and Big Sur on the roads, a la Ian Sharman, getting all my training tips from him, and then a lot of time on Mount Tam with the bros, Dylan and Jorge and Brett, and we're all of us are in Western. The store will be closed, and it's going to be fantastic, real special time to train with those guys for that race. So
I think you might have a fairly quality support crew at Western.
Yeah.
You guys running?
I think so, yeah.
Well, Matt, thank you very much. Congratulations, and best wishes for your races coming up.
Yeah, thank you very much.